I just recently made a video on integrated video game maps, but travel across those maps was something I only mentioned just to say that connected maps can be traversed. On the other hand, unconnected maps can't be traversed without interruption, and disconnected maps aren't traversed without interruption. I didn't mention or even think about how traveling across maps can be made unique. Like how travel for Subnautica is swimming, or how travel for Spider-Man PS4 is swinging, or generally how maps can be segmented into cities and points of interest, but have interesting ways of getting between them. Camwing has a video on this which talks about what I just mentioned, Spider-Man and Subnautica, but also Red Dead 2, with its auto-travel keeping the world connected.
As enormous as the game's world is, fast travel, where you pick a point on a map and you just instantly show up there, while it exists, it is intentionally made inconvenient to use.
And Bowser's Fury, where Camwing mentions how the space between points of interest can still be interesting on their own.
Additional levels start sprouting up across the map. They could just stick them all right next to each other and cut this guy out entirely, but the space between the levels almost serve as a level on their own.
Something that really caught my attention, especially in the first 15 minutes where it shined, was the video's music choice and implementation. The voiceover and editing and gameplay and effects were all great, but as music has been on my mind a little, the good use of it here definitely made me consider how I might implement it onto my own channel, and it's partly why I added music last minute to the video before uploading it. Camwing only flashed it for a blip, but it seems like their script actually includes music in them. While I can pretty easily write with visuals in mind, I've never written with sound or music in mind. What I mean is I was impressed with the video's attention to being good as a video, as well as the points Camwing made, and how they related to the video I just recently finalized. I do think travel is important. While in my video I mentioned how some games' empty space, or literally space, can be an excuse to have distant, unconnected maps, I didn't focus on how that empty space can be made interesting. Empty space doesn't have to be made more full and cluttered like I suggested to be interesting, but made interesting by making traveling that empty space interesting. Breath of the Wild, as Camwing compliments for its travel, does both, actually. The spaces are made more full with shrines and Koroks everywhere, but travel is also made interesting with all the unique ways to travel. And not only are you rewarded for your creativity with faster methods of travel, but rewarded for your patience with conserving stamina while climbing, for your grind set with items to increase stamina or allow for reaching colder, hotter places of the map. And you're rewarded for exploring it all since it's full and cluttered with exciting things. I don't like empty space. I think it kind of necessitates fast travel and loading screens for it, even if the world is technically traversable without it, because there's too much nothing to do. I didn't consider, though, in my video, how if you made travel more fun, empty space could instantly become a playground, making it more interesting without actually having to clutter up and fullify the space. I definitely talk about more than that in my video, but I wanted to mention that I was a little narrow in my description of my dislike for empty space. Both the emptiness and the boring traversal share a part in my dislike. Traversal, my points here on traversal, though, are ones I didn't think of on my own, and Camwing's video definitely includes more examples, analysis, and editing than any video I could make on the topic. My video is not about traversal, so of course Camwing's is better suited for the topic, but I wanted to make a quick aside about it.